It's been a while since I've actually done an AliExpress haul, and today I have some new equipment that I thought, you know what, let's smash through them and see how much use they're actually going to be. Sometimes you'll buy stuff on AliExpress and it'll be an absolute waste of money, and what I'll try and do today is rate the items out of 10. All right, we'll start with these. This is Multimeter pen, but what this is Multimeter probes, and they looked all right, to be fair, on the listing. For these, it cost me £5.73. They're listed as extra sharp, high precision digital multimeter pointer probes. It's a bit of a mouthful. Let's get it open and see how good these are. The box is a little bit beaten up, but apparently 0.1 mil on the old tip there. 0.1 mil. Oh, it comes with something else. What does it come with? Are these spare tips? Oh, they got screw-on tips. What? That's pretty cool. Oh, so you get one spare. You get one spare set of tips. That's pretty cool though. I didn't know that they could screw on like that. Well, the reason why I think I fell for these is because this stood out to me, and that's because I have that on my soldering iron as well. You know, like the comfort grip. You don't necessarily need the comfort grip, I don't think. These are the ones that I currently have, and if I'm honest with you, these are very good. It's just, again, I wanted to try something slightly a bit different, but these are also mechanic ones. These ones are not mechanic, I believe. These are midging. These ones have been really, really good to me. They're 1000 volt rated, and I believe that these ones these are 20 amp. Rated. It doesn't say, oh, 1000 volt as well. How sharp are we talking? Let's put this one in first. And how easy is it to... Oh, okay. All right. Whoa, that is sharp. Jeez Louise. Okay, let's do this one. I like how that screws as well. I know it sounds silly, but... So these are replaceable. I'm assuming then that you can actually buy replacement ones for them, if needs be. Okay, let's put that in there and put these in a drawer somewhere. And we'll test how accurate they are. And I'm actually going to put the covers on. Oof, they are sharp. They are really, really sharp. Let's go under the scope and see how sharp they are compared to my other ones that I've been using. These are my old ones. I've put the multimeter on as well so we can get an accurate representation of how these perform. But these are my old ones, and you can see that they're still really, really sharp. I try my best to look after them, but they're really, really sharp. And then let me bring in one of the other ones. Ready? Yeah. They're definitely finer on the top. Can you see? In terms of length, I think they're pretty much identical. Yeah, that's me holding it at the same. Yeah, they're the same length. I mean, my old ones, my mechanic ones, seem to be, you know, keeping up just fine. But I think these ones are a tiny bit finer. Ever so slightly, tiny bit finer at the end. Just a little bit. You see that? Let's give it a little measurement and see how accurate they are. Let's just go into a normal resistance mode. So just for reference, these are the old ground probes, and I'll just go ahead and measure on a coil. In the mega ohms, I feel like it's not really necessarily a fair read, is it? So let me try something a little bit lower. That's mega ohms. No, I want something more accurate. Mega ohms. Try on a resistor, hey. That'll be a good test, actually. Let's put it on this resistor here. 10K, and pretty quick, right? These are my old probes, 10K, pretty quick. I don't really have to fumble this around. They're very accurate. They feel good on my hands, so these are the old probes, 10K. Now I'm going to plug the other ones in. These ones on my hand, they feel a little bit lighter. I like the grip on them. I do like the grip on them. These ones have like this little bit of a round circle on the end, which brings your grip up a little bit. Oh, so do my other ones, to be fair. Maybe they just feel a little bit lighter. Let's measure on that same resistor. It was 10K, wasn't it? How quickly do we get that? I will say, I think the actual leads are a bit. Oh no, they do again. They feel the same. Here we go. Yeah, just as good and just as accurate, may I say? 10.2. I'm pretty sure that's exactly same as the other ones. Yeah, 10.2. They feel good. Let's see what the resistance is between the leads. So 0.2, let's do that, right at the tip. So we get a 0.2, anywhere from 0.18 up to 2.3. Let me try further up. Exactly the same, 0.18 to 0.23. I'm going to switch back to the older ones. From 1.8 to 2.3 is what we had. What do we have on these ones? Ready? Right at the end. Well, these ones are playing up a little bit, it seems. So it could be the multimeter though, but I doubt it. There we go. It's taking its time. We're, you know, these are the old ones, by the way. 100 ohms. I don't know what's going on here. 3 ohms, 2 ohms, 0.3 ohms. Jeez, these are a little bit all over the place. And just to show you that it's not fluid, quick there. Here we go. No, I mean, it's all the way up to like 1 to 2 ohms. Let me go back to the other ones. So I'm going to plug the other ones in again now. This will actually determine whether I'm going to be using these going forward, you know. Here we go. Straight away, look at that. 2.5. A little bit higher than last time. 19.25. Yeah, it's pretty much identical to what it was. So again, right on the end. And we get a measurement. Look at that. 0.19. Identical to how it was before. And every single time, it's hitting. For me, they deserve a place on the bench. How good can multimeter probes get? I mean, I don't know if you can necessarily get better than that. I'm yet to find them, but I'm also not going to pay anything more than, you know, that 6-7 quid sort of price mark. So I'll give that a solid 7 out of 10 as to how useful it's going to be, in my opinion. I will caveat as well, this is me just like unboxing and reviewing rather than a timely review. I haven't used these for a long time, so it might be after a day or two they fail. However, first impressions, very good. How quick is the beeping continuity mode? We can check the beeping continuity mode and see how quick it is. So if I put it into continuity mode, ready? I'll count down. 3, 2, 1, instant. 3, 2, 1, instant. And I'll do it right at the end as well. 3, 2, 1, instant. Yes, instant. And it's not intermittent either. So if I carry on speaking, you'll hear that we have like a flat beep the whole time. Very good. Very, very good. And you could argue as well that Mechanic is a more known brand, more well-known brand, and those are the ones that I was using. And these probes I've not heard of specifically. Let's move on to the next thing, shall we? I've got a couple of tweezers here. I'm going to look at this set first. Now, there is, you know, if you've been around on the channel for a while, I like to say my ceramic tweezers. It's always been an ongoing joke, and it's just one pair of ceramic tweezers that I've had for such a long time. And let me show you the end of my ceramic tweezers. So I think they snapped a long time ago. So these are ones that I purchased. They are specifically from Mechanic. They are ceramic tweezers, and I paid a total. I got 2 sets, so I got like more of a bent one at the end. Can you see? So I got 2 sets of them, and I paid a grand total of, in total, £13.63. They are quite expensive for what they are. I hope they're going to be good quality. Again, this is one of those things I'm going to unbox now. However, time will tell how they get on. But I've had these pretty much since the start of the channel. Well, they don't make it easy to open. Whoa, these are big. Wow, look at the length of those. Jeez, those are massive compared to my ones. Look at that. I don't know how that's going to feel on the hand. Feels good. Feels good. Whoa, wow, they seem sharp as... Whoa, they are super sharp, you know. Look at these ones open as well. Same length, right? Yeah, same length. These feel really good. So the benefit of using ceramic tweezers compared to metal ones is that these are not conductive, whereas like a metal set of tweezers is conductive. So you can use these in scenarios where you don't want that conductivity, and if you're like poking around on a device, you don't really know what you're doing, especially if you've got power coming into the board. That's when you can then use these bad boys instead of using normal metal tweezers. So we have a look now. If I compare what I was using, which is this is now what I'm going to be using. I mean, it's probably about up here, you know. So I'm looking forward to using these. Look how sharp these ones are. Wow, that's going to make such a difference in like probing little components, you know, SMD components. We're talking caps, resistors, all of those good things. So these are going to come in very, very handy, I think. And then I've got the bent ones as well. Look at this. So again, should be nice and easy to pick components up, and also maybe turn it the other way, and have it like flat, like that. You can see how accurate they are. They're very, very accurate. And they are Mechanic, so we know that the quality is probably going to be pretty good. Just having a quick look and having a quick poke now. If I was to grab that off, yeah. You can see that they do flex at the end. Ever so slightly, but they're going to be strong. So even these for like removing components, I think would be really, really good with the hot air, you know. Let me try. So sometimes I use my left hand, sometimes I use my right hand. I'm going to be using my left hand right now just to take off this bit. I actually prefer the length on these compared to the old ones because I can hold them a little bit further out. So if I was to just come in and take stuff off, yeah, that's super easy, as you can imagine. Yeah, I am burning my desk though. Thing is, with these, you also need the dexterity skill as well. You know, but they're going to come in super handy. I'm going to bin my old ones now, in fact. Let's move on to the next thing then, which is actually more tweezers. These are precision ones. I've not heard of this brand before. Loawi. I think, funnily enough, they should probably look at their packaging because they kind of cover their packaging here, you know, their brand name. But it also says it on here as well. Lousy. I paid for these tweezers £8.64, but the tweezers themselves were £2.54 each. Then you have plus shipping, etc., and whatever other fees. But we're looking at £8.64 for 2 pairs of these tweezers. Now I went for 2 pairs for obvious reasons. I think it was a case of just buying some as a backup. So let's have a look under the scope and see what these are like. Is the packaging a little bit better than the other ones? Oh, nice! Look at this packaging. Look. That's so much easier, man. Instantly, I'm going to tell you, they feel very, very similar to what I always recommend. And you can see why they would be similar. So these are my Kian Lee iNeasy tweezers. I swear by these. They are more expensive. I think these rack in at around about £7 each. These are coming in at £2 something each. The actual iNeasys, I think even though smaller, if we look, ever so slightly smaller, the iNeasys feel a little bit heavier. So therefore, I would go ahead and assume that there is better quality in the iNeasys. However, these feel good. These feel really good. And they feel like they've got almost the same amount of tension, just a little bit more. But they feel like they've got the same. Let me check the ends of them. I like the feel of them, though. I really like the feel of them. To be precise, they are the IS40 model. Let's have a look under the scope. Wow, yeah. And can you see? So the actual end part of the tweezer is longer on the new pair compared to my iNeasy. Now, I would then go ahead and argue that it's actually easier for me on my iNeasy tweezers to control finer SMD components. Whereas because these have like a longer neck, is the term that I'm going to use. I don't actually know what it's called. Because these have a longer neck, it might be a little bit more difficult. But again, they are roughly, ever so slightly, I think the silver pair, the new pair, is just a bit bigger. But they feel good. I can't lie. These do feel good. On the left hand. Yeah, these feel good. Let me have a look. I mean, how in depth can you go for a tweezer? Do you know what I mean? What I would say, by the way, rating the ceramic ones, again, it's going to be tough, but I'll give them a solid 7 as well from the previous ones. But in terms of like, if I was to take off a FPC connector or something, yeah, these tweezers feel okay. How much flex do we have here, right? So if I go here and I bend, can you see? Quite a, I don't know how to compare that against this, so let me compare. Definitely, and that's what I was talking about, the quality. So can you see these are more flexible? Can you see these are flexing more? Whereas with the iNeasys, it hardly moves. Hardly moves. What I will say though is that I think the iNeasys are going to be better for more precision. At the end, obviously, if I put these here, you can see. So they're just about the same size as that circuitry. With these ones, they have a wider end. Much wider. Can you see? I'm saying much wider, and you're probably thinking, Joey, that's not much wider, but you can definitely see it's a lot wider, you know, compared to that, which is kind of good because, for example, if you have M92T36 chips, like here, you can comfortably take that off. You can do it with the iNeasys as well, which is what I do, but only just. You see that? Whereas with these ones, you've got a much wider radius. It's like if I was to let me show you an example on P13 USB. I could take P13 USB from here like this. Can you see that? And if I let go, look at the spring, the size is just right. Whereas if I go back to my iNeasys, I can't. I have to kind of stretch it, and you wouldn't be able to do that when you've got hot air on and everything's moving around. So the iNeasys have a smaller grasp, and these new bad boys are a little bit wider. So again, for bigger chips, this might be the play. But we shall see in due course. Probably, I think, the second most expensive thing that I've bought from Ali in this haul. This is, again, Mechanic. Not sponsored, I promise. This is a Mechanic set of screwdrivers. Now, you're probably thinking, Joey, you've got so many screwdrivers already. I've got the LTT screwdriver. I've got the iFixit screwdrivers. Why on earth? I've got my electric screwdriver. Why on earth do you need more? Because sometimes it's just nice to have more. These are your everyday bread and butter tools when you're in this sort of work. So it's important to just, you know, develop your tools when and where you can. I think these are more so aimed towards iPhones and MacBooks, those sorts of devices whereby you've got really small sort of screws. And they are, I don't know if they're the same size as this, I highly doubt it, but they are very small. Who am I? I am going forward bravely. I am invincible. I am like-minded with you. I am the most loyal. I am Steel Gun Group System of Mechanic. Mortar Mini. If that doesn't scream premium, I don't know what does. £22.50. So a little bit more on the expensive side, but when you're comparing it to the LTT set, I think I paid maybe £70 for that or something. I like the packaging. Mechanic stuff is always well packaged. Okay, so what bits do we have? We've got a... Okay, wait. There is one true test here. LTT versus Mechanic, about a third of the price. However, in the LTT set, you obviously get an abundance of bits. This is literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screwdrivers. However, the real test is the spin test. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was so close. Now, what I will say is that this LTT one, right? I've had this for best part of a year now. And the bearing on it is still immense. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, LTT for the win, over a year old, and smashes the mechanic in terms of the ball bearing out of the park. Lovely jubbly. This is a 1.2 Phillips, it looks like. So we've got the 6-in-1, it says, as you can see. 6-in-1. It doesn't unscrew anywhere. So I think the benefit of these is, if I compare it to my LTT one, oh, actually, well, when you put the bit in as well. So if we just kind of retract that, we're looking at that much difference, right? But I think the LTT, when it has a bit in, is, yeah, look, you can see. There's quite a sizable difference there. So the benefit of having something like this is it's in the name precision, right? So you can be over the top and you can hold it, and it's kind of like comfortable. And what you do is you use your palm and then you can twist here. So especially if you've got smaller hands, you can still do that with the LTT. But obviously, if you have bigger hands, it's more comfortable for you. This one has a bigger circumference on the top of it. So it kind of does feel nice in my hands, but that's going to be different to people's like hands, you know? So do we have tries in here? Let me just see how this feels. And again, it's hard to kind of get on camera how this is feeling. Does it have a try? Has a star? There we go. We've got a try. So we've got a 0.6 try. Maybe we're not going to have a one as thick as what we need. Maybe this is literally just for phones. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have one. This is a 0.6, which I think is way too small. Yeah, it is. That's way too small. Okay. That's way too small. So this is for simple fine work for maybe even Nintendo Switches. I think it's probably the lowest that you're going to be able to go. You wouldn't want this for like a PS5 or something that was a bit bigger, or, you know, it doesn't have, I don't think it has T. Oh no, it does have, no, that's a T2. So it's got a T2. So this is specifically a set for things like Apple products and small laptops. But the actual quality of these drivers feel good. But I don't often work on those sorts of things. But I'll keep these to the side. And if you're wanting to purchase something like this or something from this video, I'll leave links down below in the description. Hot-blooded young people. Mechanic Multi-Mini is a representative of personality and performance, small but powerful. Shows the personality of a tough man. What on earth? Multi-Mini has many fans. They pay great attention to the use, performance, and the spirit of tough men. This is not only a substance, but also a feeling. This is something I'm really excited about. So I paid, and you're not going to believe the price of this, I paid £6 for this bad boy. Now you might be thinking, what is it? It's to help you use jumper wires properly. I saw jumper wire and I thought, yeah, this is going to be the one, because that's something where, like, it's one of the toughest jobs that you can do in repair. So I thought getting something like this to aid you would be really cool. It's just a case of, is it going to aid you or is it going to make your life 10 times worse? It kind of feels quite heavy, is what I would say, which is, I guess, good in the sense. What's the company? Mayuan. It kind of feels, it's heavy weighted here. I like that in a way. And it fits in the hand nice. This unscrews here, I'm guessing, so you can actually feed the wire through. But you also, this bit unscrews as well. So that bit unscrews again to feed the wire, I guess. And then if we just open this is actually, it comes with wire, and the thickness of this is 0.01 mil. That obviously doesn't go in there. So do you put the whole spool of wire in here as well? Unless that, can I cut through there? Oh wait, okay, wait there. Does it fit though? Yeah, it does. Look at that. Fair enough. And then you just do this. Nice. Okay. Where's the start of this? Where's the start of this wire? This is going to be an issue, isn't it? The issue with this as well, I guess, is that you can only have one set of wire in here each time. And I hope it doesn't break inside the spool, because that would also be horrendous. I'll be honest, I'm about done with this already. It broke. I'm done. Guys, I'm done. I'm done with this. I wouldn't recommend, for me personally, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. I've wasted money on this, okay? If you had the patience and then to go for it and actually put it through, I'm not that, I don't know, man. It just doesn't, it doesn't seem like the thing for me. Because this is so heavy, once you have the wire in, if the wire breaks, you're going to have to do this and sort it all out again. And that in itself, you could be done with the trace repair by the time that you spend trying to thread a wire through here, in my opinion. So for me, that's going to get a 1 out of 10. Now, in my opinion, this next thing, you can never have enough storage. Upon receiving it, it does feel quite cheap. This is Relife. And I paid a grand total for the Relife stuff of £9.16. Of course, it's going to maybe feel a little bit cheap, but let's see if I feel like we get at least our money's worth with this. First of all, I need to know how to put it together. Put little ICs in there. You put little chips. It's actually quite easy to install. What are these bits for? Oh, yeah. Do you know what? That is wicked. I am super happy with that. It's so simplistic. Now, I also have this spinny thing that I really like, and that's, I believe this is from Real Life. Or is that Mechanic? Oh, no, that looks like the Mechanic logo. I could be wrong, though. But, so for example, I could put my tweezers in here, couldn't I? Or is this all my fluxes? Oh, no, to be fair, I think the flux is more so going here. I like that a lot. So what I'll probably do is I can put all my bent tweezers over here. I know this is really like pedantic, but I can put all my bent tweezers over here and all my straight ones over here, so I can just go boom. I like that. I can even go as far as like, my little soldering irons. Look, oh, that's really cool. The tips for them, so that I can drag all of those over as well. But that's really cool. It just means that I can get rid of a bunch of other stuff that I've got here. My toothbrushes. The toothbrushes don't fit. That would have been top points. The thing is, I can just toothbrushes in here, right? What about my Sharpay? Does that fit? Sharpay fits. That's good. It's just like an all-in-one solution, you know? If I have this like this, yes, let's go. And look, it's not like none of these things are going anywhere. That's really cool. So I'd have it like this. I'd have my couple reels of solder and I'd literally just pull. Wait, is there a way that you can have it? Wait, you can have it going through there, look. And that way it's all, you can just literally pull it. Oh, wow, that's cool. So I can have it this way. Oh, that's cool. That's really nice. I like this. I like this. This is a solid for me. This is a huge space saver. And I've got the drawers as well that I can add my little chips into. The only thing that's slightly annoying is that the drawer does sag. So it doesn't feel like a nice, you know what I mean? It does sag a little bit. I'll give this a solid 8.2. I give this a solid 8.2. This is really nice. I'm still going to keep this because, again, I mean, I like the way it spins, and storage is storage at the end of the day. You can't have it when it comes to this sort of stuff. You can't have enough storage. And we move on to our final product, our last but not least. I paid £55.39. By far our most expensive item today. If I was in a phone repair shop and I was charging multiple devices with USB-C or even USB-A, this is something that I would look to purchase. This is G-Power by Mechanic. And it is a 160 watt GAN charger. Thing is with this is it gives you all of the information as well as like a nice little line graph as to what's going on with the power draw of a device. So I really, really, really like the sound and look at this. So it is expensive, I think, for, you know, a GAN charger, even when comparing ones on Amazon in the UK and wherever else, Amazon US, etc. It is quite expensive. For an Ali product, I think we can all agree. I'm charging devices all the time, especially when it comes to repair, so you can't really have enough of this stuff. I just wanted to see how this performed. That's going to be the power cable, isn't it? I think this might be an EU power plug. However, we obviously have something that we can use instead. Yeah, so it's a figure of 8 power cable, so I've obviously got plenty of those, 10,000 of them. Whoa. It's definitely got a premium feel to it. Wow. A little bit lighter, actually. A little bit lighter. There we go. So we've got power delivery of 100 watt on the top, and then we get on the bottom, it's here, 22.5 watts in each of them, the branding, everything like that. And here is a list of what it can actually do. So if you want to pause the video and have a look. Oh, it wirelessly charges as well. The 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is going to be the USB-C power delivery, you're looking at, on a single charge, 100 watts, which is the same as what I currently have. Take the peel off. So, okay, you literally just cycle through the ones that it is. Okay, where is my cable? I'm just going to plug my phone in, okay? So does it detect when you plug a cable in? It doesn't. And it doesn't automatically change this. That's another thing that I was looking out for. We get a charge. What charge do we get? Well, it says the wattage. That's really cool. So it's probably negotiating right now. So we get 19.2 watts. So it's 15.1 volts or 1.3 amps. 25 watts. So we're pushing it up a little bit now. So we're at 25 watt. 26. I think that's all it's going to peak at, really, hey? Oh, it did change to C1 as well, by the way. So it changed automatically. So you can see the charging lines. So we got 12 volts at pushing up to an amp or so. I'm trying to get a better contact because I feel like that would really determine. There we go. That's probably the best contact I'm getting. I'm a little bit loose. It's probably because of the way I'm holding it. Let's be honest. Like, and I've got a case on as well to push the buttons. I don't think it's just going to change the C at the top. If I was somebody again who I was just like identifying phones and seeing, you know, what kind of draw something was pulling, whether that be a phone or even a laptop. If this goes up to 100 watts, there's a lot of laptops out there, especially stuff like Chromebooks, whereby you're going to be able to tell the signs of life with a device. With this, you're going to be able to tell whether there's a short in a machine pretty easily. Obviously, you need more advanced diagnostics. I'll caveat that, but this is going to give you some sort of an indication for more experienced techs as to what could be wrong immediately with a device, in my opinion. It doesn't actually have a switch. So I'll put that down to an 8.3 because that would be very handy. Because what am I going to do? Just keep pulling out the plug on this? I'd rather not do that. I'd rather have a switch. And for £60, you'd kind of want that. You'd kind of want this to have a switch, you know? So yeah, maybe, I don't know if holding down those buttons turns it off and on. Let me check. Oh, we've just changed the display. Look at that. That's a nice graph. Look at that. It's a better graph. That's pretty cool. Let me hold it down again. Oh, it goes to an even different one. I like this one. I think this is the display that I like. Can I cycle through here? Yeah, so you can cycle through these ones. I personally like this display. This is what I would use. It's nice and big and bright, and you get all the information on it. So 15.1 volts, you get 1.7 amps, 25 watts, and then you also get the milliamp hours at the bottom as well. Again, I think you're going to get your money's worth out of this if you are some sort of repair shop and you deal with a lot of iPhones and small charged laptops, because this could come in very handy. You've got a bunch of cables running out from it, maybe 4 on 4, and you're just testing a device one at a time. This will give you good information as to what's going on before you've even opened it. So yeah, I do like that. If you want to buy any of the items that we've looked at in today's video, please feel free to look at them in the description down below. And if you did enjoy this video and you want to see more of these AliExpress hauls, please consider hitting the thumbs up button and subscribing to the channel. As always, huge thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.